Alright, I'm not gonna lie. This probably won't be the best of my Rivalry series review, but I decided I'm gonna go ahead and do one, kind of just throw one out there, give a prospect of what my Rivalry series will really be about. And this is how it's going to go down. I'm going to try to start with the beginning, not really both of their careers, but kind of where you can see hints of it, or just kind of like a beginning like I will do in this one. I'll probably list out that major point. I'll list out when the feud started to really end. So, I guess let's do this. Hogan versus Andre the Giant. So pretty much Andre the Giant, when he started his career in WWF, he was kind of like a Great Khali type character, not the me evil just type thing. He was more of a Great Khali red big ass PJ type thing. He was nice. He got along with the fans. He got along with most of the superstars, and when he needed to, he could actually fight. So Andre the Giant was more of a babyface, and he would get along with those faces, most notably Hogan. Over time, the build-up between the two, not like significantly build up, but just over time, which is something you don't see in the day anymore. Usually it's a boom! There you go. Boom! There you go. This was built up over time. So that's something that was nice between Hogan and Andre. And then eventually, Andre he snapped and ripped Hogan's necklace off in a segment of Roddy's Piper's Pit. Yeah, a little bit of stuff happened before, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, mostly because I'm not going to say I can't, but I just, it's, you could just look it up, and I could just look it up too if I really wanted to sit there and describe it. But that's not one of the more important things. It would just note that it was built up over time, and Andre was starting to show more of that heel. And this is when he really became a heel, in that Piper's Pit segment with Roddy Piper as the host. And Andre just ripped the cross and the shirt off of Hogan. That's when it was noticed, and this also built up to the WrestleMania 3 match. Also noticed that a contract signing at the Royal Rumble was done. I believe it was the very first Royal Rumble, actually. And a contract signing was done. So, again, no, it wasn't like Andre won a Royal Rumble. He was just kind of built over time, and the shot was well earned over his career, let's just say that. And so this isn't something that was like, oh, he won the Royal Rumble, so now he got 4 months. This is something that built over time. So there's a contract signing at the Royal Rumble, It just kind of built up over time. And you also saw a little bit of hints, not very much, but just little hints that maybe he would associate with DiBiase. So that's something that showed up him in. And I'll get more into that after WrestleMania. So again, we get the build-up, and easily one of the most infamous matches of all time, of course, other than the Montreal Screwjob. No offense, I'm just going to point that out. The Screwjob is probably more infamous in this match, although this match definitely deserves the credit it gets. Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. Pretty much David versus Goliath. The match itself was actually, again, not a fan of big wrestlers, but Andre was just so good at looking dominant, and Hogan being the babyface he can, always hulking up and getting, and unlike today when you see John Cena hitting the AA on Big Show and all these big asses, it wasn't very common for a man the size of Hogan to pick up another man the size of Andre. It just wasn't common. So when he did pick up Hogan or Andre at WrestleMania 3, there was a reason it got over. It wasn't like, cool, like it is nowadays. Oh, that's like pretty cool. It was, whoa! Because that's something you didn't see very often. And that's something that's kind of unfortunate here in the WWE nowadays. That so many things are just so common, and it's really sad, but not much you can do. And all you can do is note, Hogan won the match. Probably better. So, we continue on. Hogan starts to have, shit. No, not quite yet. But they kind of like, they're building the rivalry up over time, and just, it's really hard to explain. But just, it's back in the day when WWE actually knew how to build feuds. It would kind of break since Hogan was champion, so Hogan did take a little breaks, but Andre was still one of those main event players, and that WrestleMania 3 match helped Andre become a main event player over that time, all the way to when the most, again, unnoticeable happened. I believe it was February, don't hold me to the date, but sometime in February, and Andre got his rematch from WrestleMania 3. Pretty much, this is also when you saw the the Earl Hebner ripoffs. I believe Earl Hebner was the referee, and they got the fake Earl Hebner who looked like, and that referee, the fake referee, punched Earl Hebner, the real one. So Hogan was like, And again, like Shalita had pointed out in one of his videos, I don't remember which one it was, but this is for Hogan to have this belt for 4 years straight, and just boom, it's like, really? I don't know. It just didn't seem right, but the thing interesting to me is Andre won the belt. He, not fair and square, obviously, but he won the belt with help of DiBiase, since he was probably the mastermind behind it, or storyliner, the mastermind. So Andre was trying to get the belt to DiBiase, then it was stripped, and that led to the whole thing of the WrestleMania tournament that happened at WrestleMania 4. Pretty much here, you saw Hogan and Andre in one of the, I believe it was either beginning round or semifinal, I believe it was beginning round, and they got a double DQ. So Hogan and Andre were out practically from the beginning, or at the beginning. So that's the reason Hogan or Andre didn't win that tournament. You continue on, this also led to Macho Man. He won the belt against DiBiase, which DiBiase, again, he had very much involvement with Andre getting the title in the first place, even though he gave it up, and this is what happened. But yeah, Macho Man did get that very deserved win over DiBiase, making Macho Man the new World Heavyweight Champion. This also led to that memorable WrestleMania 5 billet where Macho Man would fight Hogan, but that's different rivalry. Probably for a different time if I decide to do that rivalry. Comment below if you'd like to see that rivalry. And again, build up. And this was, remember, this is a time where they only had 4 pay-per-views. So if you wanted to hit those big pay-per-views and actually have stuff remembered, you had to build up feuds over time. It was just a must thing to do. This, again, build up over time, and you get to the tag team match. The Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks. Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase versus Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. Pretty much what you got here. Oh, and Jesse Ventura as a special referee. Jesse Ventura was very biased towards Andre and Hogan. Or Andre and DiBiase, wanting them to win. Probably the most memorable thing in my mind was the match when Jesse Ventura didn't want to get the last count. Macho Man comes behind and pushes his hand down. That's probably the most memorable thing in my mind. But the match itself was actually very good. Again, the heels did what they needed to do to get the heat, and the babyfaces did what they needed to do to gain it. So pretty much over time. And one thing I didn't like, don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure they might have won one match if we're lucky. But Hogan and Andre never really had that big rematch for the world title, or at least not a very memorable one, if I believe so. So I believe it should have ended, but I believe they also had a Mega Powers and another Mega Buck thing at Survivor Series. Not a tag team match, but it was like a survival tag team match. But again, don't hold me to that. And I believe they had one of those in '89. It was the, what they call it? I believe the one they called the Ultimate Survivor. I don't remember what they called it. But they had one last encounter with the Mega Bucks things at a Survivor Series. And then they might have had a match at the Royal Rumble. But the reason I don't remember that is because it was just so focused on Miss Elizabeth getting injured and Hulk Hogan carrying Miss Elizabeth out. And then Macho Man going, oh god, and he attacks him in the back. So Royal Rumble was really the build to Hogan and Macho Man. Of course, it was built over time, but this is when it really started to pick up. So Royal Rumble's not really about Hogan and Andre. So they had a couple last matches, but they never really had that big last match for the world title. Hogan and Andre did. And by the time Hogan won the belt, Andre was starting to get more in that tag team with Haku, and they became a babyface, and that was around that time he became a babyface again. It was practically the last of Andre. So we didn't get to see much of Andre after that. And it's kind of sad and unfortunate. I just wanted that big blockbuster ending for Hogan and Andre, and I just didn't see it. Yeah, you got some good tag team matches with the Mega Bucks and the Mega Powers, but it wasn't, I just didn't see it as the ending it needed to be. I do apologize if this wasn't the best talk about Hogan and Andre scene. Again, this is a time obviously, if you can look at me, I wasn't alive, so I don't have that personal experience and as much memory for this, but knowing my research as I do, I tried to give the best I could for this, and hopefully you like the series. If you pick more of a series during this time in the past decade, you know, Austin vs. McMahon, whatever, Montreal Screwjob, something I'll go into, even though I don't want to do Montreal Screwjob, as you can watch the Survivor Series 1997 review off the Off the Rope show to get a really good description of the Montreal Screwjob. But if it's required or requested a lot and highly wanted, I'll go ahead and do a Montreal Screwjob just to make it shorter for some fans. But Hogan and Andre, definitely an A feud. Probably what built the debate to today. So that's all there really is to say. You can subscribe, like, comment, check out my other videos, check out my channel. You know the drill. Talk to y'all later.